State moves back into the picture, but it's the Iowa Hawkeyes, 18-2 on the year. They're 2 games in front of Minnesota. Indiana, the defending national champions, are 3 games back. It's a must-win game for the Hoosiers. NBC Sports, in association with TVS, presents the best of college basketball. Today from Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, it's the Hawkeyes of Iowa and the Indiana Hoosiers. Today's game is brought to you by Texaco, who also brings you quality automotive products you can trust. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By Honeywell, you should see what we do with computers. And by Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. Southern Indiana realized the importance of this one. The Iowa Hawkeyes on a runaway course to win the Big Ten championship. Indiana attempting to derail them today. To give this game perspective, last year at this time, Iowa, going into the final weekend of the season, needed only 1 win to at least clinch a tie for the championship. The Hawkeyes lost both. Indiana won both, came out of nowhere, won the Big Ten title, and of course, on to the national championship. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire. No question for Indiana, their biggest game of the year.
Well, to watch Indiana, they will never press, they will never play a zone. The strength of Indiana is their predictability and execution. And it's also their problem because you know what they're going to do. Where Iowa, they'll play a matchup 2-3 zone. They like the fast break. Their strength is they have multiple scorers, but they don't have one pressure scorer.
Would underline that. Iowa this year, in all of their games, 20, they've had a man score 20 points only twice. So everyone chips in. That was the kind of team you like.
That's what I like. That's what I mean when I say there's no I in team. Basketball is 5 people playing as one.
And, of course, a Big Ten game and all of the excitement that surrounds that very phrase. Iowa and Indiana. Iowa trying to stay well in front. Indiana trying to close the gap. We'll have the introduction of the starting lineups in just a moment.
For the past 4 years, the Sylvania Superset has beaten RCA and Zenith in an independent test for best overall color picture.
What about Sony?
And now, for the 5th time, more people once again picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset over RCA and Zenith for best color picture.
What about Sony?
And this year, we even tested against Sony and won. The Sylvania Superset.
Okay, cross X right on 2. In a ball game, I don't care how much I sweat. The more I sweat, the meaner I feel. But off the field, I want to feel nice and dry, and I want to smell nice. That's why I use Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. It's the wide stick, effective protection with more dryness to help fight wetness. And it goes on dry so you can get dressed right away. So get on the stick.
So dry you can get dressed right away. Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant.
By minute.
Gee, Ollie, this windshield's so messy, I can't see. We need new wiper blades.
I know that.
Make sure your windshield wipers work when you need them. A new set of ANCO wiper blades every year is a quick and inexpensive way to see your way clear.
Ollie, without new Anco wipers, we could have been hit by that piano. Oh. Piano?
And here's your room guarantee. And only Holiday Inn gives you this no excuses guarantee. Everything in your room will be right, or we'll make it right, no excuses. Or that night you stay free. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
You don't get this guarantee from any other hotel chain, not any one of them. And this guarantee comes from every one of us at Holiday Inn to you, because we want to take care of you. We give you a guarantee, not excuses.
Good afternoon. Indiana University welcomes you to the Assembly Hall. Let's meet today's starting lineups. For the Hawkeyes of Iowa, at one forward, number 40, a 6'6" senior from Chicago, Illinois, Kevin Boyle.
Boyle was all Big Ten last year, averaging 10 points a game, averaging 7 this year. Bobby Knight still says he's their most valuable player.
Number 30, a 6'8" junior from Galveston, Indiana, Ted Kitchell.
Kitchell had 34 on Thursday night against Illinois.
At forward, number 44, a 6'7" junior from Iowa City, Iowa, Mark Gannon. For Indiana, at forward, number 21, a 6'5" freshman from Anderson, Indiana, Winston Morgan. For Iowa, at center, a 6'11" freshman from Quincy, Illinois, number 42, Michael Payne.
Last year's Illinois High School Player of the Year.
For Indiana, the center, a 7'2" freshman from Effingham, Illinois, and Munich, West Germany, number 33, Uwe Clark.
Effingham High School in Illinois by way of Munich, Germany.
One guard for Iowa, number 15, a 6'2" sophomore from Bellflower, California, Steve Carfino. For Indiana at one guard, number 24, a 6'6" junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, Randy Pittman. For Iowa at the other guard position, number 30, a 6'2" senior from Chicago, Illinois, Kenny Arnold. And for Indiana, the other starting guard, number 20, a 6'3" junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jim Thomas. And the head coach of the Hawkeyes of Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Olson. The head coach of the Hoosiers of Indiana, Bobby Knight.
Olson trying to get his team into the NCAA tournament for the 4th straight time against Bobby Knight, the dean of the Big Ten coaches. The opening tip-off coming up.
In northwest Montana, up by Hungry Horse and Lone Pine, sits Whitefish. It's a long way to anywhere from Whitefish. So when the railroad needed computer equipment here, Honeywell was the choice. A Honeywell system may not need service often,
Have a nice trip.
but there's a Honeywell service engineer to come take care of it.
Hey, how you, Wayne? How you doing?
Even in Whitefish. Honeywell, you should see what we do with computers.
North slope's clear and head wall's clear.
And I guess it's Miller time.
Last one down buys.
Right.
Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax,
What took you so long?
one beer stands clear. Miller beer, if you got the time. We got the beer.
Indiana, the defending national champions. They won under Bobby Knight in '76, and of course last year, 1981. They go against this Iowa lineup: Boyle, Arnold, Pinckney at center, Gannon and Carfino. The Hoosiers with Glapp, the tallest Hoosier ever, 7'2", Thomas and Kitchell, Whitman and Morgan. Iowa in the dark jerseys with gold trim. And Blopp wins the tap for Indiana. This is Randy Whitman, returning starter from the championship team that just steamrolled through 5 opponents for the title in Philadelphia last year. Whitman, an outstanding shooter. Inside to the tall blob, knocked away, and out of bounds to Indiana.
Iowa starting out with a 2-3 matchup zone. It looks like a 1-3-1, but after the first pass, it goes into a 2-3.
Outside to Winston Morgan, the 6'5 freshman. He's been inserted into the starting lineup just of late by Bobby Knight. Thomas. This is Kitchell, their best shooter. Indiana leads 2-0.
Kitchell could be the best shooter in the Big Ten.
He's been among the leading scorers, if not the leader, all season long, and fresh from a 34 points scoring spree against Illinois Thursday night. Iowa with the ball for the first time. Payne, the young center. He can shoot from outside. Barely getting it back to the veteran Arnold. Gannon, and now Carfino. Inside, knocked away by Kitchell.
Good call by the official there, right on top of the play. That Jim Bain is one of the best officials in the country, I believe.
You said that Ted Kitchell's first shot would be important. It hit nothing but net, Al.
Especially since Iowa's playing a 2-3 matchup zone. They're having a triangle game in the middle there.
Gannon, fall away, not there. Kitchell rebounds. Jimmy Thomas, he made the All-NCAA tournament team last year, coming off the bench. He scored only 4 points in the 2 games, the semi and the finals, but what a job he did rebounding, assists, blocked shots, and steals. Made the all-tournament team, along with Isaiah Thomas, who has migrated to the NBA. Landon Turner would have been the only senior on this team. He, of course, in that tragic auto accident, is paralyzed and will be the featured halftime guest today with Al McGuire. Arnold had it for a moment, out of bounds to Indiana.
Nice pass by Ted Kitchell that time, but a little bit too low for the big man to bend over and get it. Here's the zone, setting in tight.
Into Block. Blocked by Payne. Arnold brings it down.
Payne's a quick jumper.
Payne has it stolen away, but it goes out of bounds as Winston Morgan with a hustling effort.
Watch how quickly Payne gets off his feet. Here's the pass with the block. Now watch it go real quick. Doesn't hesitate, doesn't need much springing time. Just right off.
Michael Payne, his dad, Tom, was on the 1956 Fabulous Five of Iowa that went to the final game of the NCAA, only to be defeated by Bill Russell and the University of San Francisco. Carfino. Payne, Iowa down 2-0. And Payne ties it up at 2. The young freshman from Quincy, Illinois, averaging just under 12 a game. That's the top scoring average for the Hawkeyes.
They move to a man-to-man now. Drifting off the sides.
Kitchell.
Can't let him have that.
Rebound Boyle. Carfino hustles it down. Off to Arnold. Inside to Payne over Block. Rebound to the youngster Morgan. Long pass. Kitchell open.
Beautiful pass.
Kitchell has all 4 Indiana points. Iowa trails by a basket. Arnold. Gannon. Over Kitchell. Ties it at 4. Mark Gannon's first points.
Starting to put pressure up court now. Man-to-man pressure. There's a double team right there.
He's a 6'5 forward in high school, and look at him handle the ball. Freshman Winston Morgan. Indiana playing without a senior on the entire roster. Kitchell. Not there, and Boyle can't save. Thomas does. Randy Whitman. That's going to be on Whitman, charging.
Good call. If you watch this replay, if we got it, he'll put his shoulder into the defensive man. Now, Bobby, you know he did it. Bob, you know. Okay, here, watch. This is a shot where he misses. Kitchell misses the shot. Here's the save. Flips it back out. Now, here it is. Now, watch here. Now, watch him put his shoulder in. Right there. See him charge in. Bobby's call.
First foul of the game goes against Whitman. Gannon trying to give Iowa the lead. Rebound, Morgan. He went to the same high school, Winston Morgan, Anderson, Indiana, that produced Bob Wilkerson to Indiana, the 76 championship team, and Ray Tolbert, who was the center in last year's championship club. So Bobby Knight has quite a pipeline to that Madison Heights team and Anderson.
All right, they're back in their matchup zone again now. One of the big things Indiana does, it moves the ball and the man. Watch how fast the ball moves. Against the zone, there'll be very little dribbling.
We welcome those of you who have watched Missouri and Oklahoma State here on NBC. It's tied Iowa and Indiana at 4. Whitman, and he is fouled. No basket.
There's Lute Olson looking for his 4th straight NCAA appearance.
He is really working too, as we saw yesterday after practice at about 6:30, 7 o'clock here at the Assembly Hall. Grabbed a flight, went to Chicago on a recruiting trip, told us he's going to be in the Phoenix area Tuesday. You don't win as a major college basketball power today without doing your homework, and that means recruiting, and Lute Olson regarded as one of the best.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Lute, but your great coaches, when they know they're on network or regional TV, they normally will go visit a kid in that area that they want, and the kids say, well, my God, you're playing tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. So it's a great, impressive thing. But Lute Olson is one of the best recruiters in the country.
Well, you said if recruiting meant getting mothers to go to college, he'd win the championship every year.
Gotcha. Out of action. Get the twin action Norelco Rotatract rechargeable razor. Inside 3 floating heads. Twin action grips and raises hair up, then razors hair off, closer than ever, without mixing cuts or soap and water. The twin action Norelco Rotatract rechargeable, because for close shaves,
There's no action like twin action.
Announcing the Owens Corning February Pink Sale. To help you fight old man winter, your Owens Corning dealer is lowering the price of pink insulation. Put an extra layer in your attic and save on fuel bills. But hurry, in addition to the sale, there's a $10 bonus check if you beat old man winter now at the Owens Corning February Pink Sale.
The top dog of dunk, Dominique Wilkins leads Georgia against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Then on NBC Sports World, the world's premier indoor track meet, the Millrose Games, plus the greatest figure skaters ever, and final round coverage of the Hawaiian Open tomorrow.
Randy Whitman's 2 free throws giving Indiana a 6-4 lead over Iowa. Early going, just over 4 minutes have been played. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire. Earlier, some of you on NBC saw Ohio State beat Michigan State 51-46. Missouri 89, Oklahoma State 82. The final as the Tigers lost only once. Whitman with a steal from Boyle. Boyle, number 40, is regarded as perhaps the outstanding defensive forward in the Big Ten. We'll be watching him as he hawks his man. Now he's in a zone defense. Morgan's first shot. Rebound, Gannon. Iowa with a chance to tie. Carfino, very quick, puts it up. Rebound, Kitchell.
Very tough shot to shoot while you're going at the basket. What you have to do is play it off the window. Back in the zone. If you watch Gannon on the baseline, it's a matchup zone. Gannon will go wherever the ball goes in the baseline.
Kitchell open on the side. And Jimmy Thomas gets the bucket. 8-4, Indiana. Traveling on Gannon. Lute Olson didn't like that call.
Now Gannon is the baseline man in the zone. He's the forward. He will follow a forward out of his area. The center won't move and Boyle won't move, but Gannon will. He's over in the bottom there. See him next to Ted Kitchell? Now wherever Kitchell goes, he'll go with him. Watch. Kitchell, will you move, please? Come on. I'm not going to give a clinic today. Hey, Kitchell. Where do we get down there? Okay, there he is.
Kitchell.
Will someone move out of there so I show you what's happening?
There's Block. Blocked by Gannon beautifully. Arnold saves to Payne, and Thomas knocks it out of bounds. It's Iowa's ball. We'll have our most valuable player announcement, of course, later in the second half. $1,000 scholarship from Honeywell to both Iowa and Indiana, also to be awarded. 8-4, Iowa, the Big Ten leader, trailing here at Indiana. Carvino, free, banks at home, 8-6 as the Southern Californian scores against Bobby Knight's defense.
Steve needed that. He's a tough ball player. He knows the game. I think he's one of the keys to Iowa's wins.
Carvino's their best shooter on the year, 58%, despite taking most of his shots from outside. Almost stolen by Carvino. And a nice play by Boyle as he picked up the loose man, Thomas.
Heads up basketball. Boyle saved 2 points that time, but coming from the weak side back to the basket. Ted will pump it right up. No, he didn't. I thought he would put it right up.
Whitman to Jimmy Thomas. Thomas gets it back to Kitchell. He scores, and he is fouled.
The key to this is the fake. Now watch Ted Kitchell's fake. Just pay attention now. Watch how he fakes to get a three-point play. Now here it comes. See that? Head and shoulder fake, or what some people call a lift fake, because it lifts the opponent off the floor.
But the play was made by Jimmy Thomas, who hustled after his own missed shot, picked up the loose ball, and set up Kitchell. And now an excellent free throw shooter, a chance at the three-pointer.
Anytime you got inside position with the ball, you should go for the three-point play.
11-6, Indiana's biggest lead on the three-pointer by Kitchell, who now has 7 in the game.
Got to remember now, the last game at Iowa, Indiana lost by 22 points, 62-40.
Foul is on Kitchell. In fact, Indiana in that game shot under 31% from the floor. It was their lowest point total in some 30 years. So they were embarrassed at Iowa. So there's more than just the fight for the Big Ten lead at stake here. Indiana trying to offer a little revenge. Arnold can't hit it. Partially blocked by Morgan, and a foul on whom?
I thought that Morgan almost got close to goaltending that time. He's a tremendous sleeper.
Foul is on Kevin Boyle of Iowa, his first. Last year, at this time, it was Iowa 16-4, Indiana 14-6. Iowa cruising toward the championship and lost their last 3. Indiana, typical of Bobby Knight, roaring down the stretch to win the Big Ten. You have to wonder what would have happened had Iowa won the Big Ten. Indiana would have gone to a different area for the tournament. Instead, the Hoosiers played a couple of games at home. Whitman can't connect. Carfino rebound.
This is what Iowa wants to do, right? Well, hold up, look at too soon.
Jimmy Thomas with a steal. Thomas, one of those players, you can't look at the scoring average to see his value. Flop. Payne rebounds ahead to Carfino, one-on-one with Whitman. He'll slow it down.
Didn't have the right numbers. 1 against 1. It's an overmatch, 2 against 1, 3 against 2. You go all the way.
Gannon, fall away, not there.
That was not a good shot, Dick.
Iowa has scored only 6 points in nearly 8 minutes, and they trail by 5. Thomas. Here's Kitchell. They like to get the ball to him on the side. Flop. Whitman. The basket is good. The foul is on Whitman. 13-6. Whitman with his second foul, charging both times.
He put a nice fake as he drove towards the middle here. Watch how fast he gets the ball up before he charges into the man. He gets it out of his hands. As a matter of fact, Dick, he didn't get it out of his hands. The man on the far side, he charged him before the ball left his hands.
Lute Olson not happy at all. Timeout's been called. Just under 12 minutes remaining in the first half. The Indiana Hoosiers leading the Hawkeyes of Iowa 13-6.
Your business machines say a lot about the way you do business. Quick. Right. Canon's NP400F delivers 40 letter-sized copies in a minute. Consider it done. Responds with reduction, even enlargement. Keeps you organized with a document feeder and optional sorter. Attaboy. The Canon NP400F system copier. Technology that keeps you going. Call toll-free for information or contact your authorized Canon dealer.
If you're one of the many people whose life insurance needs are changing today, check with State Farm.
I'm State Farm Agent Jim Scally. In today's economy, people's life insurance needs are changing, and State Farm is changing to meet those needs. We have a variety of life insurance products, all at a good price. We'll help you plan the program that's right for you, and we'll be there to help you keep it up to date. Check with State Farm.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Live from England, middleweights Dwight Davison and Tony Simpson. The #1 ranked contender, the European champion, on NBC Sports World. Next Sunday, live.
That statistic reflecting the cold shooting, perhaps good defense, perhaps just the tension, the early goings of this Big Ten battle. Indiana much more powerful on the boards.
I really think in this time of the season, I think it's nighttime. I think everyone that plays against Indiana that night plants something in their heads. And they know he's going to make his run like a Secretariat, coming down that back stretch and going into the last turn.
You know, there's a statistic to bear that out. Bobby Knight, in the last 10 years that he's been here, in the last 10 games of the year, is 81-19 down the stretch. He knows that's when his team seemed to develop, as was the case last year, when they just got better and better all the way to the finals. Payne was fouled by Uwe Blop, his first.
They're trying to punch the ball into Payne because he's too quick for Uwe.
Michael Payne, who led his Quincy High School team to the Class AA state championship in Illinois. There's Bobby Knight, now 41. Youngest man to ever win 300 college games. Of course, he has more victories at Army, 244 here at Indiana. Michael Payne gets a deuce, and it's 13-8 with 11:39 left.
Slight pressure up court.
Into Whitman. Kitchell over Payne, and scores, and he's fouled.
Patience, that's what Kitchell got. He gets in there with traffic, he stops, gets a hold of the ball, again the head and shoulder fake. Watch, he stops. That's patient. He gets everyone else fidgety, and it's a nervous whistle because the officials don't want to lose control of this game. Or we call it a tickle whistle.
There wasn't a lot of contact, but Payne indeed called for a foul, and he leaves the game. He's replaced by the top shot blocker on the Iowa club, another freshman, Greg Stokes, 6'10", from Hamilton, Ohio. Kitchell with his second three-point play, now has 10 in the game. Indiana's biggest lead, now up to 8. Bob Hansen, 24 with the ball. He's into the lineup for the Hawkeyes. To Arnold, way off the mark. Stokes with a rebound. Takes it up, and he's fouled by Uwe Blop. So the two centers, both freshmen, each with 2 fouls in the early moments. And some Lute Olson. Robert Luther Olson went to Augsburg College in Minnesota. Three-sport star. That was the game at Iowa 10 days ago. 30 years of Indiana basketball covered in that 40 points for the Hoosiers.
First time since World War II.
Stokes misses both, and Boyle gets the rebound for the Hawkeyes. Out to Arnold, passed up an 18-footer. Hansen won't. Rebound Whitman.
Both teams are extremely well coached.
Indiana trying to build a 10-point lead. They're up by 8. Less than 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Knocked away from Blop, but a foul is called on Stokes of Iowa.
Looked to me like that was a late whistle. It seemed the play went on and the fella just didn't blow the whistle fast enough.
So Greg Stokes with the foul, and Indiana will play it from underneath with Thomas, the trigger man. Ooh, almost intercepted by Arnold. Inside to Blop. Traveled. It'll be Iowa the other way.
Iowa has to get Arnold out of the gate. Arnold has to maybe go playground here once down. What I mean by playground is one-on-one. Tough guy to go one-on-one on Jimmy Thomas.
Into Stokes.
Get it over to Arnold. Let it go, Arnold.
Boy, Iowa was really icy cold. Boyle with another save, and Hansen connects. Bob Hansen, who is the #2 Iowa scorer, 11 a game as a sixth man, makes it 16-10. Boyle keeping the ball alive. Winston Morgan all the way.
Coolness of a senior, even though he's only a freshman.
Exactly 10 minutes left in this first half, and another foul on Block. That appeared he got the ball to me.
Well, what's happened? They're trying to get him into foul trouble. Here's Winston. Watch how smooth he goes in, like silk, velvet. Slips by the charge. The ball bounces around.
More importantly, let's look at this to see if it was a foul.
Yeah, well, let the fans call this. What they're trying to do is create traffic in there against Block. Yeah, he caught him with his elbow.
Block comes out, and another freshman, John Flowers. He's 6'9" from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 42, Flowers in for Indiana.
Yesterday at practice, Bobby Knight yelled at John Flowers. He was a little bit salty, but he yelled at him. All of a sudden, this freshman started playing. He was like out of sight. He was clearing both ends of the glass. He was scoring. So let's see if he can continue into the game now.
Stokes missed his first 2 free throws, but connects on that one, his first point of the game. It's 18-11 Indiana. And with Blopp on the sidelines, Lute Olson has made an interesting substitution. He puts Michael Payne back in. So Iowa has both big men in the game, the freshmen, Stokes and Payne, 6'10" and 6'11". 9:50 left.
Iowa now playing man-to-man. They don't have to worry about Blob underneath.
Kitchell really works that baseline. Rebound, Gannon. Flowers just missed the cuff dunk. Carfino ahead to Payne from outside. Misses. Out of bounds. Hansen on the sideline.
Can't do that. He came from out of bounds, inbound. It's the last place that you touched determines whether the ball's alive or dead.
Out of bounds on a turnover by Indiana. 9:29 left. The Hoosiers by 7.
I watch now. I feel that Iowa will set up their triangle passing game. They'll put their 3 big men underneath. Put a lot of picking. That means put a lot of meat on their picks underneath. The guards will play the wings. Here it comes, right. Carfino on one wing, Hansen on the other. Now the 3 guys will pick for each other underneath there.
Gannon gets away from the freshman and scores, and he is fouled by Morgan. No basket.
Ooh, that's a big call. Lute is up. That's a big, big call. Wow. He's calling 3-second count. Well, his heels might be in. There's the triangle I'm talking about. There's putting the meat. A pick is when you put a lot of meat on a guy.
That, instead of a 3-point play, became a turnover and no scoring at all for Iowa. It remains 18-11.
Well, if Indiana hits here, it's a 5-point play. All right, they'll spread out the offense now.
Whitman is free.
5 points.
5-point play, and Indiana leads by 9.
20-11 instead of 18-14. 20-11 instead of 18-14.
Well, that was a big whistle.
All right, here's the triangle inside again. Watch him start throwing the meat around underneath there.
And this crowd on its feet. And a foul on Thomas of Indiana running through a screen by Payne. First foul on Thomas. Or you think about Isaiah Thomas, who had 2 more years. If he had stayed, and if that automobile had stayed on the road with Landon Turner, what an Indiana team this would be again this year. They're still mighty tough.
Well, they'll be tough when they get to the NCAA. I feel that 3 teams from the Big Ten will go to the NCAA.
There's Landon Turner here as a spectator today. He will be Al McGuire's halftime guest. I think it's one of the best features that the coach has ever done.
Well, it was extremely difficult, I thought, but his character and personality is so outstanding.
So positive. 20-12 the score. Indiana with the ball and the lead. 8:39 left, first half. Stolen by Carfino. Whitman to beat.
Going all alone.
He misses. Thomas kept it alive. Kitchell at the other end. And it was stolen, but a foul on Hansen.
Wow, that was coast to coast again there. Hansen did put his hand in there and caught him. Here he's going all the way through. The ball dances around. It doesn't drop. Thomas keeps the ball alive. Now they whip it down the other end. Nice pass. Now he comes underneath here. Watch Hansen put his hand in from behind.
First foul on Hansen.
Both teams now are in a 1-on-1. All foul shots will be bonus +1.
Kitchell inside, can't hit. Boyle rips down the rebound. Carfino ahead. Hansen. Oh, good ball movement by Iowa. Carfino goes to Boyle on the deflection. He can't score. And Jimmy Thomas, he's only 6'3". He's the leading rebounder for Indiana at 6'3".
Well, if he plays good, usually Indiana wins. When they beat Minnesota, he had 18 points, or 16 points and 8 boards.
20-12, the Hoosiers with 8 minutes remaining, and the foul is on whom? Flowers or Payne? It's on Payne of Iowa.
They were bumping underneath there, and it looks like they fought Payne on the last bump.
That's his second personal foul, officially second on Payne.
Really, the game is getting to Iowa's type. It's more of a transition game now. I think it's getting out of Indiana's rhythm. Even though Indiana's leaving 20-12, it could be up by 10 if he bottoms these out.
John Flowers misses the front end, and Payne with a rebound. It remains 20-12. Indiana held Iowa to less than a point a minute this first half. Hansen free. Good turnaround jumper by Bob Hansen makes it 20-14. He has 4.
Hansen's the best shot on their club.
Whitman. Nice pass to Thomas. Thomas, the only man in 10 years that Knight has recruited out of the Iowa, Indiana, Illinois area. He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
He probably wanted to trip down in the wintertime to see the ocean.
Whitman over the backboard, and it's Iowa's ball, trailing by 6, and we have a timeout here in Bloomington, Indiana.
I always used to recruit a kid from California. The kid with two-hand dribble. They always go out there. I wanted to go out to the warm weather.
2014, Indiana.
Here's how the men and women of Texaco feel about our flag.
Stand up for the flag of America, wherever you may be. Respect it and protect it, for it shall keep you free. Free to do what you want to do and say what you want to say. Free to go where you want to go and pray the way you want to pray. Stand up for the flag of America, for all the world to see. Stand up for the flag, that star-spangled flag that stands for you and me.
The men and women of Texaco want to share this expression of pride in our great nation as we celebrate the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington.
It's the world's premier indoor track and field event, the Milrose Games, featuring miler Mary Decker Tabb, Leapin' Carl Lewis, and Hurdle King Ronaldo Skeets Nehemiah, plus great figure skating with Janet Lynn and Charlie Tickner, tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
Back at Assembly Hall, sellout of over 17,000 on the Indiana campus. The Hoosiers in a must-win game. They are 3 full games behind Iowa in the Big Ten standings. If they should lose, they drop back by 4 with only 6 to play. Here are scores of other NBC games this late afternoon. Kentucky by 4 against Alabama. Virginia leads by only 1 versus Clemson. Here it is 20-14. Indiana, Iowa with the ball. 6:50 left in the first half.
There's a triangle set up underneath right now where they're picking for each other. See Payne try to put a pick on Kitchell that time. Feed it into the bucket soon. 2 guards playing the wing. There it goes.
Boyle gets, he hit from behind by Winston Morgan. Got Morgan in the air, and the freshman was out of control. He picks up his first foul.
One of the things with this triangle underneath, it's very difficult to switch 3 ways. See, they're picking so much and bumping underneath. You can switch with 2 men under there, but 3 is almost impossible. It's one of the things I think Luke Olson has put into basketball.
Kevin Boyle has had trouble from the free throw line of late. Shooting just 53%. Look at that, he almost missed everything. Boyle, the senior from Chicago. A tenacious defensive player and a great team man. Misses them both. He's 0 for the last 6. So Indiana leads by 6. Iowa's a team only 4 out of 10 from the free throw line. Flowers. Thomas Whitman. Thomas takes the shot. 22-14. Jimmy Thomas with 4. A whistle away from the ball, and the foul is on Flowers of the Hoosiers for holding. That'll send Michael Payne to the line. Flowers, a great high school athlete here in the Hoosier State. He was a fine track man as well. Long jump, 23 feet 5 inches. He's 6'9", and he was a sprinter. Ran the 200 meters.
Well, after Bobby yelled at him in practice yesterday, he was really sprinting. He would have won the 100 meters.
Wouldn't you?
Bobby came at him. Wow. Remind me of my old days.
Michael Payne hits them both. He has 7 points in the game. It's 22-16 Indiana.
After the made foul shot, pressure up court, 2-2-1. They might get in trouble here. No, they get over. Now they'll go man-to-man probably. No, they're staying in the 2-3 matchup zone again.
Less than 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Kitchell. 24-16. Kitchell now with a dozen.
From the corner, he's automatic. He's radar.
Payne is free, and he hits over Flowers. So the freshman shows his outside touch. He has 9.
Payne can either play it down low or face the basket from 17 feet out.
Thomas, one of the stars of the national championship team last year, double teamed and gets it to Kitchell. Kitchell has 14 points and a technical foul against Lute Olson.
Lute Olson was right. Kitchell did jump into the man. The rule this year is you cannot jump into the man that's guarding you. And if we can re-show that, you'll see that Ted Kitchell jumped into the man and made the basket. Now Lute's showing how he jumped into the man.
That's about as angry as you'll see the 47-year-old head coach.
Now watch him jump in. See, he's jumping into the guy. The guy's trying to hold his ground. All right, it's a 2-shot foul.
And it's a 4-point play if he makes this one. So Indiana's had some big plays, big whistles.
Plus they get the ball out there.
Would be a 6-point play.
Normally when you get a technical on you years ago, you get the technical while the other team had the ball. That was only a 1-shot foul. That's why they changed it and made it a 2-shot foul. So 2 big plays. You're absolutely right, Dick. All right, Luke, settle down. We got a long time to go.
10-point lead for Indiana. Iowa had a 3-point play called off because of a 3-second play. Kitchell has had 2 3-point plays and 1 4-point play today.
As I said earlier, he is, as of today and Thursday night, he is the best shooter in the Big Ten.
Back to Kitchell. Oh, and he got away with another charge. He actually hit a man with his elbow.
He's going to acting school. There he is. He's saying, see, when you put your hand behind your head, that means a charging foul. That's a signal the ref gives to the scorer.
Olsen must be wondering what the officials are looking at. And certainly they're not seeing some of the things we are, and of course that he is.
They're in a matchup zone again.
4:45 left in the half. Indiana trying to build, make this a 6-point opportunity.
They'll only take the good shot this time. You can bet your life on that. There'll be a lot of touches of the ball. Steve Bucci's in there.
There's Kitchell again. And a foul on whom? This will go against Morgan for charging. In on the back for the rebound.
There's always, what always happens, like in pro ball, they call the foul on the rookie. In college ball, they call the foul on the freshman when you got to even it up.
That's the penalty of being young, isn't it?
I'd rather be young. There's Bobby. You know, Bob doesn't make substitutions by any form. When he makes a substitution, is what the game dictates, which I think is very important. A lot of coaches make substitutions because they got the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th man there. Now, against the team at the Illinois Thursday night, the big guy Flowers didn't play at all. Excuse me, he played the last 3 seconds of the game.
Kevin Boyle, who missed the first 2, and misses again. Payne gets it back for Iowa, and it's deflected away by Whitman. So Iowa's free throw shooting has hurt them. Halftime already. Kentucky and Alabama, the Southeast Eastern Conference, tied at 32. Boyle goes out, and Kenny Arnold returns to the Iowa lineup. Arnold, number 30.
I still expect Arnold to get the trigger, to get this thing going.
Lots of officials in the audience. Inside to Gannon. Carfino slips inside and can't hit. He was fouled by Steve Bushy. His first.
Boy, Carfino's quick. You see him take that one step in sky?
Bushy, a junior, 6'8" from Washington, Indiana. Flowers back in and Bushy goes out. Iowa shooting under 500 from the line. They're 6 for 13 in the game. Indiana's 6 for 7. Carfino hits the bottom of the well to cut Indiana's lead to 9.
He made the first shot, so he didn't move off the line. He's grooved. Puts it up nice, follows through nice. Let's see the height on this one. Beautiful height. Gotta cry it. Caught the front rim.
22-20. Carfino has 4.
He gets breaks off the front rim. There's no breaks off the back rim. Going to double team here in a second. Right now they're going to double team. No, they didn't. I thought they would.
Whitman to Thomas. Flowers, Kitchell. Boy, Kitchell and Gannon are in quite a pushing match away from the ball.
They're going at it. The Big Ten's a rugged conference. They play hard basketball. Rugged.
Gannon out on Kitchell. And Kitchell traveled. Gannon's presence forced the turnover. Bobby Knight says, calm down. Now they're going to get a timeout. It'll appear that Bobby is going to call a timeout. Waited to see whether or not a television timeout was due. 3:46 remaining first half. The Hoosiers by 8.
This is where you come to be really refreshed. For a taste so cool, so delicious, it could only be Velleman's. For a taste so fresh, it takes your breath away.
Great taste that only happens here. Velleman's. Great taste that's always cool and clear.
Cool refreshment. That's the Velleman's taste.
Great taste that only happens here. Velleman's.
Here's to good friends.
Beautiful. I thought we were just taking a ride in the country.
We are. This is the scenic route.
Boy, I'll say.
Now, hang on, it gets better at the top.
What could be better?
How about the same view with a thick steak and a cold Lowenbrow?
Yeah, better.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
All in favor of missing the next tram down?
Let it be.
Motion carried.
It's the world's premier indoor track and field event, the Milrose Games, featuring miler Mary Decker Tabb, Leapin' Carl Lewis, and Hurdle King Ronaldo Skeets Nehemiah, plus great figure skating with Janet Lynn and Charlie Tickner, tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
A little lob to... No, but I mean the 5? Yeah, step him out like that. Okay. Forget about, let's get it down. That's fine. 14. Let's go. Forget about that screen, man. Forget about that screen.
Live action in the Iowa huddle. Lute Olson in his 8th year. He coached 1 year at Cal State Long Beach, was 24-2, and then migrated to Iowa, where he's done an outstanding job.
He was trying to set up a lob. They'll get the ball into the corner if they can, and then set up a lob. Let's see if it happens. That means a lob pass from alley-oop.
Carfino brings it in.
To the corner. Where's the lob coming?
Gannon way outside, and it comes to Kitchell. That's what you're talking about. You hit the back of the rim. There are no priors there. Indiana leads 28-20. 3.5 minutes remaining before the intermission. Kitchell again. And a foul again on Carfino this time. He stole the ball, but apparently got the wrist in the process.
Yes, he stripped him, but it was illegal.
First foul on Carfino, whose brother Dan was a 3-year starter for the University of Southern California. Steve deciding to go from Bellflower, California, on to Iowa City.
See him blowing on his fingers? That's supposed to dry the fingertip. That's the last thing that leaves the ball, obviously. Now let's see if he blows on his fingers again.
Kitchell hitting about 86%. He is a terrific shooter.
See him blowing? He's blowing, drying his fingers, getting them nice and dry.
You didn't teach him that, did you?
No.
30-20. Kitchell has 18 points. 6 for 6 from the line.
Take him once, Arnold. Come on. Take him. Tough guy to take. James Thomas is somewhere.
Inside to Gannon, over Kitchell to score. It's 30-22 as Mark Gannon has 4 points.
Iowa needs a turnover. They won't get it here.
2-on-2. Morgan bringing it down.
Well coached. Numbers were even again. 2-on-2. Back up, set up. Set the 2 low picks down there. They're picking down.
Knocked away by Gannon, and Carfino for Iowa. Off to Hansen.
Bounce it in.
Inside to Payne.
You got it, Payne.
Oh, a tough shot by Payne. He was well guarded. It's 30-24. Payne with 11.
Payne can score with a hand in his face.
Thomas. Not there. Rebound Carfino. Open down court is Gannon. Back to Arnold.
Oh.
No basket, and he was fouled. We welcome those of you who have been watching the first half of the Virginia-Clemson game. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire, Assembly Hall, Indiana University. Iowa, the Big Ten leader, 10-1. Indiana, 3 games out of the lead. Are just 6 points ahead today. Here's the last play as Arnold went in and could not make the layup. No basket, but Arnold was fouled. He has a chance to cut Indiana's lead once at 10 down to 4 if he makes both free throws.
Both teams are in a 1-1. The last time these teams played, Iowa won 62-40.
Hawkeyes have lost only 2 times all year in 20 games. Houston beat them and Minnesota. Arnold misses. Free
How
throw.
many times, Dick, has Indiana lost at home here?
Only once this year.
Since the building's been built 10 years ago.
Oh, just 13, 14 times in 10 years. Arnold gets 1. Iowa's free throw shooting has kept them out of the lead. They're shooting about 50% for the game. Good pressure in the backcourt.
Got a count going now.
Stolen by Arnold, and a foul on Arnold. I'll say one thing for Lute Olson in Iowa. He has not gotten any officiating breaks today. The crowd has really spurred on the Hoosiers, and I think has drowned out some of the calls that he wanted to go for Iowa. So with 2:01 remaining in this first half, Jimmy Thomas is at the line. When we look at the first half statistics, the free throw shooting is going to be quite dramatic. Indiana's success and Iowa's failure. 32-25, the Hoosiers with 2:01 left in the half. 6 points now for Thomas. Carfino. Boom. 32-27, excuse me.
Here's the pressure up court again. They're going to turn one of these over sooner or later. They're getting their hands on a lot. Arnold just missed that one.
This is number 11, Dan Dockich, a freshman in the game for the first time. He's from Gary, Indiana. Dockich averaging 3.5 a game. Good ball handler. Went to Andrea in high school. He was an all-state performer last year.
Want to spread Iowa out now. Get them out of that matchup zone. Got to play man-to-man. Knight set up high. 2-3 high. Foul line extended. They're going to look for a back door.
Dockich stolen by Carfino. Nice play by Dan Carfino. Ahead to Payne. Over Kitchell. Oh, that's goaltending.
Well, I hope that Ted Kitchell isn't hurt. Flowers came down on Kitchell. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, John Flowers and Kitchell both trying to make the defensive play, and Flowers 42 will hit. There's the steal first.
Beautiful steal by Carfino. Foot stayed in bounds. He kicks it over. Now they're going back down court. Long pass lead. Now what I want you to watch is when Flowers goes up for the ball, he comes down on...
Here's Kitchell guarding.
Yeah, but Kitchell goes down on the floor. Watch Flowers. He goes up, goaltends. He lands on Kitchell. I hope it's not serious. Looks like he landed on his thigh. If we could just see that once more. Here
From another angle.
Another angle. Here we go. Yeah, he lands on his thigh.
He's okay. Kitchell is up, limping slightly, but he's all right. Take another look at it.
Let's give Payne some credit. He put it up nice and soft. It probably would have went in. Obviously, freshman error there with Flowers going up, and it's obvious goaltending.
Steve Bushy, 54, in for Indiana to replace Kitchell, who probably will sit out the final 64 seconds of this first half. It's 32-29. It's amazing how Iowa has pulled back into the game when it appeared that things were going roughly against them.
Iowa belongs to the top 5 in this country. This is a good ball club. The 2 games this year, Dick, the starting 7 players scored baskets before another guy scored the second basket. Now that's rare.
It really is a 7-man team.
Yeah.
No star at all.
Now that could hurt them in a tight situation. That's where I think Arnold, I like him to go more playground now and then. Because in a very, very tight situation, you need the guy that can get the shot on his own. I mean, when it gets down to 15 seconds in a tight ball game. Ricky Fraser from Missouri does it.
Right. 22 seconds left. You see the clock. Indiana with a 3-point lead, and there's a turnover. Payne now wide open is Arnold. He goes all the way, and Iowa trails by only 1.
And Bobby Knight's quite upset over that. Too late to make the substitutions. 8 seconds. So the shot will go right up. There's 6. There's 5.
Whitman. Good, and he is fouled. Bob Hansen gets the foul. Whitman makes the basket, and Lute Olson can't believe it.
Hansen's playing his heart out there. Luke thinks he charged on this. No, it was a good play. Absolutely good play. Nice head and shoulder fakes. Got him off the ground a little bit.
Randy Whitman with a chance at a 3-point play. If he makes it, it'll be according to our records, the 4th 3-point play, and Indiana also with a 4-point play on a technical in this first half. That's getting your points in bunches. Iowa pulled within 1. Indiana now has a 4-point lead. 2 seconds left. The final desperation
all the way
play.
Down.
That's the end of the first half. And the fans wanted a foul on Payne in the final second. Big Ten basketball, and you could just put this one in the Big Ten book. It's their brand of play at its best. Indiana by 4, 35-31. Special feature Landon Turner coming up.
The following performance is brought to you by the Champion Spark Plug Company. We are starting the 1982 performance season with over 197 Formula One victories, combination of international motorcycle championships, worldwide use by major professional racing teams, not to mention sure starts, better mileage, and smooth, dependable performance. Next tune-up, insist on Champions. Champion wins the world over.
Nope, nope, nope.
When you discover the cleaner feeling of zest,
You're gonna say no to your soap. It's not just Zest deodorant lather. Zest rinses cleaner too. Look, soap here, Zest here. Soap feels tacky, but Zest rinses cleaner. You feel cleaner.
Discover the cleaner feeling of zest.
You're gonna say no to your soap and yes to Zest.
There's just one way
One of a kind.
to describe our specialty.
It's genuine Colonel Sanders.
All you gotta say is original recipe.
Yeah.
America's favorite, bite after bite.
#1.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it right for you.
How would you describe the perfect chicken?
Just one way.
Original recipe.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Come on, one more. No. The championship of the entire civilized world.
I'll pass.
And the Michelob Light.
I'll serve.
Would good friends really go at it this hard just for a beer? Well, consider it's Michelob Light, and that means a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
I thought you were tired.
Nope, just thirsty.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
Tuesday, traveling singer is determined to write the last verse to the ballad of Brett Maverick.
Yeah, it seems to me the one you're looking for is probably My Brother Bart.
Indiana, leading throughout the entire first half, has a 35-31 lead at the intermission. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire, who is our resident expert on college and university nicknames. Many people have asked me, what is a Hoosier?
Oh, what happened in the early 1800s, the rough and tough people in Indiana, they used to fight, and they would scratch and gorge, and they used to bite their nose and bite off people's ears. So after one rough night in the bar, a guy came in the saloon the next day, and he seen this ear on the floor, and he pushed the ear over and said, "Whose ear?"
You're wearing me out. You're wearing me out. We'll have a special feature with Landon Turner for you right after we pause for these words from your station.
Sunday, master magician Doug Henning creates 17 spectacular illusions. Then, the action gets down and dirty when John and Ponch tangle with some foxy car thieves on chips. Then, first time on network TV, George Burns in Going in Style. It all happens Sunday on NBC.
You yourself got quite emotional.
Well, I didn't. I felt bad about it. I thought I would cry, really. But when I met him, his personality and his attitude was unbelievable.
Let's visit now with Landon Turner, one of the stars of Indiana's basketball championship of last year, and then that tragic auto accident last July.
Last March, Indiana University and Landon Turner were a sea of joy. They won the NCAA championship in the city of brotherly love. In July, a tragic automobile accident ended Landon Turner's career. Now he comes to Methodist Hospital 3 times a week for physical therapy.
When they stretched his left knee, it's like I had calcium deposits in it. It must hurt, and I can't feel it. When my therapist stretches it, I start sweating, I get cold.
How do you do to keep your body physically sound now?
Well, I can just really work with my upper body. Just only thing I can do with my legs is stretch them, keep the muscles kind of loose. But I just lift weights, keep my arms built up, muscles in my arms built up.
When I was a ball player, I always thought about me winning the game. I either dreamed about it or I was on the bench as a sub. How do you handle it?
I try to keep basketball out of my mind as much as I can, because that was my dream. I want to do that most of all. If I constantly think about it all the time, I'd just be upset.
Mary, Landon told me his leg problems and that you help him with them.
Well, he has muscle spasms in his legs. It's not voluntary movement. They're just spasms, and they're really strong. And because his legs are so long and heavy, it's hard to, what we call, range them or move them to keep him from getting stiff. He also has a myositis ossificans in his left knee, where he's got bone being laid down in the muscle, and so that can limit range of motion, so you have to be real careful with that. That also is the leg that is more spastic than the other one.
Mary, you've been working with Landon Turner now for approximately 6 months. What have you noticed as far as, I'm now talking about the personality more than the therapy?
I can't say that I've ever really seen him depressed or angry about what happened to him. I think he's got a positive attitude, and I think he tries to project that to the other patients.
How about now we jump into 1980 in the city of brotherly love. You win the national championship, a dream of every college and high school ball player. What do you remember about that ball game?
Well, I just remember we won. That was a dream come true right there. I've always wanted to win the national championship. It really seemed unreal at first.
Has this tragic accident in any way made you closer to the University of Indiana and close to the coach Knight?
Well, I've always been kind of close to Coach Knight and with the school, but in a way, I'm kind of a little bit close because they're doing a lot of things for me, a lot of benefits and funds and stuff like that. But it's really about the same. I've been always close to them.
You see a player progress as Landon did during his first 3 years here to the point where at the end of his junior year last March 31st, I thought he might have been as good as any player in the country. And I think, as all of us do, the feeling is simply one of regret that Landon didn't have the opportunity to play that last year. He's, I think, been kind of an inspiration to anybody that's been around.
If you had something to say to other young people that have had a tragic experience like you've had, what would you tell them?
First of all, I would tell them to keep the faith in the Lord and to always be positive in their thinking and to work as hard as they can to try to make it in life.
Have you ever said to yourself, Landon, why me?
Not really, because I know things happen to people all over the world, and so if it happened to me, it must have been something. God must have had a plan. It must have been like that. So I try not to even ask that question.
Al, I think that's not only the most poignant, but I think that was the best halftime show you've ever done.
Well, I hope that in some way that we can benefit the young guy by maybe some people sending in a few dollars, whatever it might be, to help his cause.
His fund is already raised with Bobby Knight spurring that on over $300,000. And Landon Turner, a potential All-American athlete, and he symbolizes a lot of people that are very brave and courageous who give us strength by observing them. And I know that's how you felt out of that experience.
I felt much better after I left him. I felt that, gee, you know, it is a bright day. It is a great world. And the young people are the best ever in this country.
Let's look now at the young people who are on the teams that are in the top 10 in our coaches poll. The balloting this morning. Virginia remains the unanimous choice on our NBC poll for number 1. North Carolina second. DePaul won last night convincingly against Loyola is third. Iowa ranked 4th. They've lost only 2. Missouri, already a winner today, was 5th.
Ralph Miller going for his 3rd straight Pac-10 championship. Tulsa, who won the NIT last year, is perking. A little trouble coming from Bradley in the Missouri Valley. They're going to have to move it up to week 8, 9, and 10. Otherwise, we're going to have you talk, Dick. I know that I think that 8 is Minnesota in the Big Ten. I'm not sure who 9 is. And 10 is West Virginia. I'd like to congratulate Cal.
Hey, you did pretty well. Kentucky was the only one you missed. Number 9. West Virginia is number 10. And West Virginia's won 19 in a row.
Gail Catlett has done an outstanding job with them.
And then Idaho, Arkansas, Memphis State, Alabama tied with Kentucky at halftime in the 14th spot. And we'll check that last 6 for you sometime during the course of the second half. It's 35-31 at halftime here at Indiana University, where the Hoosiers lead the leading team in the Big Ten, the Iowa Hawkeyes, 35-31. Now this word from your local stations.
Saturday, those lovable Berenstain Bears return in an all-new Valentine special. And when Gramps goes back to school, he gets a C for cheating one of the boys. Then the Mandrells have a battle of the sexes with Brothers Gatlin and Smothers. A great night of comedy and variety Saturday.
College basketball is being brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Mazda, cars and trucks. The more you look, the more you like their outstanding value. By Holiday Inn Hotels. Holiday Inn, chosen number 1 in people pleasing. And by the Bell System Yellow Pages. When you want to save time and energy, let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Mr. Copa? Yes. I'm your Bell System Yellow Pages representative. I'm here to help you.
Well, I'm in the book. What more can I say?
The Bell System Yellow Pages can do the talking for you. You know, the food is great.
Mama does all the cooking.
Well, say it.
I said it.
Say it here in the Yellow Pages, where 4 out of 5 people let their fingers do the walking.
Mama, he's here to help us.
Really? Give him my apron.
Get the Yellow Pages talking.
Mama does all the cooking.
Let your fingers do the walking.
In New Orleans, where good music and good food go together, we're at world-famous Arnaud's restaurant. We're secretly replacing the fine coffee they usually serve with Folgers crystals. Are dark, sparkling Folgers crystals rich enough to top off a fabulous meal? Watch.
It's good, rich coffee. I like it.
Delicious. I love good coffee like this after a meal. Absolutely delicious. I'd like to make it at home.
These Folgers crystals.
Instant?
I would definitely serve this in my home.
Can I buy it in the store?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to buy it.
This is what diners at New Orleans' famous Arnaud's told us about Folgers crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
We're bouncing, but her hair
so dirty and oily. It won't bounce. So we shampoo a lot, but then it can get so dry, fly away. It won't behave. But we discovered Pert. The secret of Pert is its cleaning conditioner. No other leading shampoo, not even the leading conditioners have it. My hair's so manageable. I love it. With Pert, you just get beautiful, bouncing and behaving hair. Catch that shot. Catch that hair. It's so clean it bounces. So manageable, it behaves. Pert, for bouncing and behaving hair. That's Pert!
Be part of a once-in-a-lifetime event when Johnny goes home. It's an all-new 90-minute special. It's full of laughs, surprises, and Johnny Carson like you've never seen him before. Monday.
Ready for the second half. 35-31 Indiana. The Hoosiers shot 45.8% from the... Check that, 42.9% from the floor the first half. Iowa actually had a better shooting percentage, nearly 46%. But free throws the difference. Indiana 11 for 12, and Iowa 9 out of 17.
That's bad shooting. That's 52%. Otherwise, I would be leading at the present time. Gannon had a big 13 points. Foul trouble, two guys in Indiana, Morgan and Block. Big 18 points by Ted Kitchell.
3 fouls for Morgan and Blopp of Indiana. No one with 3 for Iowa. Hawkeyes get the ball to start the second half on the alternate possession. Payne, the freshman, Al said, had 13. Gannon dumping off to Carfino. Payne from outside hits it cleanly. 35-33 the score. 15 for Payne to lead the Hawks.
Very important, the first basket of the half. Both teams have to get out of the gate.
Reintroduce the players for you. This is Jim Thomas with the ball. Blopp at center. Whitman. This is Kitchell, who had 18 in the first half, and now the freshman Morgan. Iowa with the same team that started. Carfino, Boyle, Payne, Gannon. That's a charging foul against Indiana's Thomas. His second. That brings Bobby Knight off his bench. Always said, your opponent is yourself, the game. Don't worry about the other side, but you play against yourself and the game.
You can like or dislike Bobby Knight, but you can never knock his coaching.
Carfino and Iowa with a chance to tie it. They have not led in the game. It was Indiana throughout the first half, building a lead up to 10 at 30-20. Then Iowa outscored them 11-2. This is Gannon, and Kitchell fouled him from behind. There was a case where turnabout was fair play. Gannon threw out the rear end, and Kitchell suddenly found himself out of room and made contact.
It's that triangle passing game inside. All of a sudden, Gannon got the inside on Ted Kitchell, and that was all she wrote.
Immediately after our action from Bloomington, Indiana, where they've had plenty of snow, the second worst snow winter in this century, we're going to go out to Hawaii, where we hope that the weather will be much better. Don Criqui and all the gang standing by for the third round of the Hawaiian Open, so stay right here with us on NBC. Gannon with a chance to tie it as he looks for his 6th point. Payne saves it for Iowa. They've gotten a lot of rebounds off missed free throws. Boyle outside to Carfino, a good move. Boy, this is a quick Iowa team. Gannon way off the mark. Whitman. (35-34) Indiana with the lead. Kitchell.
He's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
You mentioned that Randy Whitman in one of your articles prior to the year was one of the top 5 shooters. He may have a better man on his own team. Carfino called for hitting the ball with both hands. A turnover to Indiana, and Kitchell will play it from the backcourt.
Iowa in man-to-man, trying to create more play in the second half.
In Iowa, 18-2. Lost to Houston at Houston by 10 and lost to Minnesota 61-56. Minnesota 2 games behind the Hawks at the start of today's play. Indiana is 3 behind. Kitchell. Payne with a rebound. Oh, he looks to clear every time he rebounds. You got to like that in a freshman.
Payne will be a future All-American. Needs a lot of upper body strength.
Block makes the play, and then Carfino gets it back. Arnold is clear. Payne can't get it. Whitman rebounds. 37-34. Iowa losing a golden opportunity. Inside Carfino, and he's called for the foul.
Carfino, good call. You put a saddle on him that time. You're riding him too much.
Second foul on Carfino.
Well, both coaches are up and down.
Bobby Knight, his Hoosiers have won 6 Big Ten championships in his 10 years here in Bloomington. 2 national championships. Lop throws it away. And Knight gets up, and he's going to make a substitution, or at least it was an indication that he wanted to make a change.
No, he gave the second thought. What happened that time is Thomas was in the air. He was on the way down as Blob passed the ball over to him.
3 minutes gone in the second half. Iowa trailing by 3. Nice pass inside to Gannon. Partially blocked by Kitchell. Controlled by Whitman. Whitman sets up Kitchell. That's his spot. Junior Ted Kitchell has 22, and this crowd is alive.
Here comes the 4th foul. I thought he'd take it.
Gannon can't make the shot. Kitchell made the defensive play out of bounds to Iowa.
They're trying to pick up the 4th foul on Blob in there. He's 7'2", so they're trying to kick the ball into Payne. Michael Payne is very quick once he gets the ball.
Mark Gannon is the man who's been working inside. He's 6'7" and a bulky 225.
Take him to school. There he goes. Took him to school. Nice.
And the foul is on Payne for charging. And Lute Olson trying to show the officials how the Indiana player moved. And he's close to picking up another technical. 3rd foul on Payne.
Careful, Lute. Lute was given a shuffle there. Here he goes. He can take him to school here. See, take him to school very easy. He feels that he stepped in, and that was not a charge, but a blocking call.
What did you think?
I don't know. I honestly, now and then, I don't know. And I don't know that one. I didn't have a good angle on it myself.
That shows you how tough it is. We can't even call it with an instant replay. They've got to call it right now.
But Lute Olson on the side did a Nebraska farm dance. Shuffled over.
Indiana by 5. Timeout.
Here's to meeting new faces in new places. For that first day on the job, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. This Bud's for you. For all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Sakes alive, sakes alive. Only Mazda's got a diesel truck for $67.45.
Now Mazda's got a diesel truck, and the Mazda B2200 is the lowest priced diesel pickup sold in America. It's a long bed that comes with a long list of great standard features. Sakes alive! Mazda's new B2200 gets outstanding diesel mileage.
Only Mazda's got a diesel truck for $67.45.
4 minutes into the second half. Indiana 39, Iowa 34. And it'll be Indiana's ball. Kitchell. Glop has been taken out. And a short lineup used by Bobby Knight of Indiana. Dan Dockich, a guard, is in. So in essence, it's a three-guard offense with this man, the freshman Morgan, and Kitchell, the only forwards, and Kitchell scores again. Remember, there is not a senior on this Indiana team. Kitchell, a senior in his academics, but sat out a year. Rebound, Dukic. Oh, somebody got an elbow in the face. One of the Iowa players down. Kitchell.
No, full timeout now.
Well,
referee's timeout here.
Morgan missed the tip. Here comes Payne. Oh, what a play! Goaltending, but I'm not sure. Oh, it looked like he took it right out of his hand. What a play!
He was up above the rim, and I think he was kind of throwing it down rather than up again. I think that's why Jim Bain called it goaltending.
A remarkable athletic effort, nevertheless.
Here we go. Here he goes up. Now watch Thomas go up. Boy, he's some athlete. He was jamming it down into the rim. He called it goaltending. Here's another angle. Oh, we didn't get another angle.
Thomas is only 6'3", and Payne is 6'11", and Thomas went up and rejected it. But it is called a basket violation, and 41-36 on the goaltending.
Gannon had to come out of the game. He has a cut on the flip.
He caught an elbow, so Gannon is out, and Hansen is in for Iowa. 41-36 the score.
Indiana trying to spread it out. Passing game.
Dukic has Hansen. Wilson with Arnold. 5-point Indiana lead. Carpino on Thomas.
I think either Ketchel or Whitman.
Ooh, Arnold got away with some contact. There's a foul on Kevin Boyle of Iowa. His second. Five and a half minutes have been played for Iowa. Lute Olson's team now has committed its third team foul. Indiana 2.
Lute wants to get this into a transition game. That last time out, he was telling his guys, let's push that ball up court. Let's get it moving.
Dukic to Whitman. Nicely conceived, and Hansen almost knocked it away from his teammate, and Thomas comes up with a ball and a foul on Carpino. A late whistle. It was almost as if the crowd told the officials to look at what they're missing.
Well, I think it was the bench. Watch how the bench jumps up. They're jockeying around for the ball here. Now watch the Indiana bench jump up when he's back over here. You catch him jumping? There they are. They're starting to come out. There's Bob.
There, the official far away from the play comes down and makes the call. Third on Carpino. There was no question it was a foul. 41-36. Indiana. So Iowa knocked one player teammate off the ball, and the turnover goes back to the Hoosiers. Kitchell. Out of bounds, touched by Whitman of Indiana. So Iowa the other way as Kitchell misfires. Kentucky by 2 against Alabama. That's a very critical SEC game as they fight for the lead in the conference. And LSU, we'll see them a week from tomorrow against Wichita State. LSU right in the battle for the conference championship. Arnold, and a foul underneath against Whitman of Indiana. He was the one who went staggering out of bounds. Has his third foul.
Arnold kind of drives to the right here. Puts the ball up. The foul's called underneath. You see where he's pushing there? Whitman's pushing it back, and his man out of the play. That was an excellent shot from above.
Ken Edmondson, our producer. Harry Coyle, our director. This is a very big building, and when you're in the top row of that upper deck, you are a county away. We have the camera up there to get that nice overhead shot.
I guarantee you didn't give a donation to the school if you're sitting up there.
Kane to Carpino. Dukic on him. Hansen. Boyle. Gannon, he'll shoot it. And hit. He cuts Indiana's lead to 3. It's 41-38. 7 points for Mark Gannon. 13 minutes, 15 seconds left. Kitchell free again. Ted Kitchell has 26.
And you got to remember, he got 26 against Boyle, who's a great defensive ball player.
Bob Hansen comes right back to drop one through for Iowa.
You know, Dick, you just know that Iowa's a good ball. They're just good. You can just tell by looking out there. The powerful ball club there. They're in a tough place to play. They only lost 14 games here in 10 years.
Yeah, they've got 7 outstanding players, quick, tough defensively. Not a great shooting team, but certainly they've been good enough to beat 18 out of 20. Kitchell, he is a great shooter, and he shows it again.
When you said before he's really a senior, but he sat out a year, it's the same way with Whitman. Whitman sat out a year because of a sprained ankle or a knee operation. So they both should be seniors, but they'll both be back next year. A ball player has 5 years to complete his 4 years of eligibility.
45-40. Gannon is fouled by Kitchell with the leg. His third. Kitchell has scored all 10 Indiana points this half, so Bobby Knight can ill afford to have Kitchell strapped with a 4th foul, and he's going to talk to him now.
He just said keep shooting. Quickly.
45-40, Indiana. 12 minutes left in this game. Payne inside. Not there. Thomas rebounds.
What a board.
Carfino to beat. To Kitchell. He's got 2 more, and he's fouled by Gannon.
I thought Thomas kept the ball too long. He should have hit Kitchell with sooner. A good save by Kitchell. Again, a possible 3-point play. James Thomas is an outstanding athlete. This fella dribbling the ball. Now he saves the ball, and a 3-pointer maybe.
And Ted Kitchell wearing number 30 on his back, and that's his total in the game from Galveston, Indiana. He's averaging 19.4 this season, scored 34 Thursday night against Illinois. This one for 31 today.
One of the reasons he scores so much, Dick, he moves so well without the ball.
48-40, a timeout. Kitchell with all 13 Indiana points this half. Now from Bloomington, Indiana, let's go to Don Crickey in beautiful Hawaii. 3rd round of the Hawaiian Open Golf Tournament.
Tom Watson has just moved to the top of the leaderboard, now in a 3-way tie with Wayne Levy and Scott Simpson on a breezy, warm day in Honolulu, Hawaii. Hello, everyone. Don Crickey with Bruce Devlin. At the outset of this tournament on Thursday, it was not a tropical paradise here on Oahu. It was a near golf disaster with rain and winds gusting to 40 miles an hour. And Bruce, ultimately, the guy that wins this is going to be the guy that can handle the wind.
Well, we've got a tough one at the top of the leaderboard with Tom Watson, but there's a lot of fine players, Don, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's 5 or 6 guys within a shot Sunday. Tom Watson started off today a shot behind the lead, and at the second hole he hit a perfect drive down the center of the fairway and a pitching wedge to about 3.5 feet. As we've seen him do for the last 5 or 6 years, Tom Watson coolly rolled it in to get within 1 shot, ultimately birdied the 7th hole, and he's now tied with Levy and Simpson.
And we'll be coming to live 3rd round coverage, but right now, let's go back to basketball.
Thank you, Don. And we'll be watching that 3rd round. Tom Watson making one of his moves, one of the outstanding athletes in that game. And here, Big Ten play. It's Indiana 48, Iowa 40. Ted Kitchell with 31 points has scored all 13 points for his team in this half.
And on the Bobby Knight system, he could probably score a whole 26 points this year. As I said earlier, Bobby Knight doesn't make substitutions or doesn't play a game by a form. He plays the game as the game develops, which is a good gift. It's something like a God-given gift.
He said, you know, if winning the championships was all there was to the game, he said he would have been out of it a long time ago. Carfino, he was fouled by Dockich. And what Knight meant by that, not that he doesn't enjoy winning the national championship, but Bob is saying basically that if you don't enjoy the challenge of practice and just setting up your strategy, then the game isn't any fun. The championship comes incidentally or accidentally.
Yeah, see how much he enjoys this?
Really, is that a man enjoying his day at work, or is it?
He really's having a good time. A real nice time. Real enjoyment, like a long walk on a short pier.
You should talk. How about those pictures of you when we caught you on the sideline? Carfino makes it 48-41. Now looking for his 8th point of the game. That's about his average.
Solid ball player.
So the sophomore guard for Iowa pulls the Hawkeyes to within 6. Kicked out of bounds by Gannon.
It's really a 1-3-1 with everyone up court playing man-to-man, and Mr. Payne playing a one-man zone in the back.
Kitchell inbounding the ball. He's taken 9 shots this half, made 6, plus 1 for 1 from the line. No one else for Indiana has scored.
There's the pinch. Payne is playing a free safety in the back. Okay, set now. They go to their 2-3.
Now it's Indiana picking underneath. Watch it. Don't watch the ball. Watch underneath. Watch how Indiana tries to set up those picks to free up Kitchell.
Now, mainly Indiana moves on the weak side of the court. The weak side of the court is the court away from the ball.
Jump ball. Carpino forcing the alternate possession rule. It'll go to Indiana, but Carpino, good defense.
When we say weak side, I like just to think you run a string from one basket to the other. Whatever side of the basket that the ball's on is called the strong side, and the other side is called the weak side, so you know what we're talking about.
Now the weak side is the near side, the ball away.
Now that's where Indiana will do their picking and usually keep their scorers over there.
Whitman, oh, tough luck, but Morgan. Oh, Winston Morgan puts it home, and a foul is called. This is going to set a record for three-point play.
See how quick he got off his feet? Extremely quick. Watch this young guy, only a freshman.
Number 21.
Watch him go up now, real quick, see? Zip! No effort.
Winston Morgan, averaging 2 points a game. Gets 2 on that, now looking for his 3rd point today. Boy, that was a critical basket after the miss inside by Whitman. 11 minutes left.
He's used to underneath there. In high school, he played some center.
Another three-point play. I don't know. There's no official record for one team three-point plays, but Indiana would be challenging the mark. They've had at least a half dozen or more.
And 1 4-point play.
Iowa now back by 9. Indiana's biggest lead was 10.
The 4-point play was off the technical on Lute Olson.
Boyle. Kitchell rebounds. So Kevin Boyle has had a rough day today. He's not scored. Whitman. No basket. No basket. The foul was before the shot, and Bob Hansen hiding his hands as if to say, not me.
Yes, you. He did it. He did it. He reaches in here. Watch. Get the head and shoulders fake. There it is.
Grabbed him by the left elbow and picks up the foul. Boyle comes out, and Kenny Arnold is back in for Iowa.
They're already in the 1-and-1. It's a 1 shot in the bonus. If you make the first one, you get a second.
Meanwhile, Indiana has 5 team fouls.
Big Ten plays rougher and tougher basketball than any other conference.
You do believe it's the most physical league?
It is. I think it comes with football because football dominates the Big Ten. And I think a lot of the referees also do football games, and they allow a lot of pushing and shoving underneath.
So that Kentucky score, they're ahead by 5 against Alabama in the second half. That's Indiana's biggest lead, 53-42. Virginia in a tough one with Clemson. The Cavaliers, number 1 in the nation, leading by only 1. Noise deafening here in Assembly Hall. Hansen quiets them in a hurry, almost as if a maestro with a baton, just waving it and everyone silenced. Thomas to Whitman inside. Morgan. 55-44 Indiana.
Morgan showed me something. Winston, that was a surprise. I think if he missed that shot, Mr. Knight would have been upset.
Kenny Arnold takes it to the iron and can't hit. The rebound, Jimmy Thomas. He's amazing.
They need Kenny Arnold. Arnold's as cold as a bookmaker's heart.
Thomas is the leading rebounder in the game with 6. Whitman to Kitchell.
Germany home of Volkswagen. What's a Mazda GLC doing here? Making a point about outstanding value in an economy car. Because while the sophisticated GLC offers the performance, economy, and versatility you expect in a front-wheel drive economy car, it offers it at a price you most certainly don't expect. The more you look at some of the finest economy cars in the world, the more you like the 1982 Mazda GLC.
Out here, a thunderstorm rolls in fast, sometimes too fast. And when they're taken care of, it's your turn. Busch. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Busch. Head for Busch. Head for the mountains.
It's the world's premier indoor track and field event, the Millrose Games, featuring miler Mary Decker Tabb, Leapin' Carl Lewis, and Hurdle King Ronaldo Skeets Nehemiah, plus great figure skating with Janet Lynn and Charlie Tickner, tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
A year ago at this time, Indiana was sitting back of the lead. Iowa apparently on its way to a Big Ten championship, but the Hawkeyes failed in the final 2 weeks. Indiana came roaring and not only won the Big Ten championship on the final weekend of play, but went on to breeze through 5 opponents, averaged over 23 points a win in the NCAA tournament as Knight won his second championship. They now lead by 13, their biggest margin in the game. Arnold inside, and a body foul against Whitman of Indiana.
Next one will be a 1-and-1. That was the 6th foul on Indiana.
More importantly, the 4th personal foul on Randy Whitman. And Dan Dockich is called over to the sidelines. Here are the games remaining for these two teams. Iowa actually has a good schedule.
Yeah, but they end up the last 2 on the road.
That makes it tough, and that's what happened last year.
Michael Payne at the line makes the first at 57-45. Payne sights in, triggers, and hits another. It's 57-46. Indiana with the ball. Kitchell into Morgan, the backcourt. He's pressed double teamed and a foul is called on Carfino of Iowa. 4th foul on Carfino. He's the first Hawkeye to pick up 4.
They put a nice pinch on the side then, and then they put outlet men in the 3 pass areas. I thought they had a turnover. But he must have reached in to commit the foul.
We're working on a technical difficulties to correct our picture situation. We'll continue with the radio call. 8:52 left at the line for Indiana. Freshman Winston Morgan, 6'5", 18-year-old, has 7 points in the game. That's his high for the year, and he makes it 8. Indiana leads 58-46. Morgan now with a second. Figures and hits. 59-46 Indiana. Here comes Carfino for Iowa into the forecourt. Uncontested. Dockich picks him up on the right side. Carfino with a drive. 10-footer, and he's fouled by Dockich. And since we have lost our picture here at Bloomington, we'll try to correct it. We're going to switch you to another game. 8:44 left here.
Now let's go to the Virginia. Well, I understand now we got the picture back. We're about to send you to Virginia Clemson, but I understand we've corrected it, so we'll stay right here. That pleases the 2 of us. Dan Carfino at the line. He was fouled by Dockich. Carfino has done well at the charity line. He's 4 for 4.
If you'll notice, Dick, the band is in back of the basket where Carfino was shooting. Bobby Knight does not allow that band to wave or to beat the drum. That would be nice if that would go out to the whole country.
Isn't that interesting?
The band does not move when a guy is shooting a foul shot.
Rebound goes to Morgan. Where everywhere else they'd be going crazy waving, and that's Knight just does not want that kind of disadvantage to the shooter. And he's an interesting guy. He's very complex and There's a lot of sides to Bobby Knight. But he does want to win and win fairly and squarely.
Plenty of time left.
8:20 remaining. Dockich. Indiana by a dozen, 59-47. Dockich over Hansen. Can't hit it, and Hansen rebounds. Carfino to Arnold. Arnold and Boyle have been so quiet for Iowa, and that's the reason they're way behind. Way off the mark was Gannon. Payne rebounds, and Whitman fouled him, and that'll be all for Randy Whitman. And that's a tough loss for Indiana as they lose one of their floor leaders. Steve Bushy will come in as Whitman fouls out. He scored 11 points.
Bobby Knight gambled and lost the gamble.
Whitman's scoring potential is one thing. The other is the fact that his play is almost flawless. He has an incredible record of not turning the ball over. When it's in his hands, Indiana usually feels terrific security.
He has a tougher job this year. See, last year he's a better off guard. Playing with Isaiah Thomas, it was a perfect matchup backcourt. Now he has to handle the ball more, needs more movement. His shooting has been down this year because of that.
Leading scorer for Iowa at the line. And with that 20 points, and again it shows you the balance of this Iowa team, the fact they don't have a star. That's only the third time all year that an Iowa player has scored 20 points in a game.
All right, now with Whitman out of there, it's very important. They'll overplay Kitchell tremendously now.
59-48, Iowa again making only one of two free throws. Thomas brings it down. Turned over. Right back to Thomas.
Billions.
How do you do? That one was like a pinball machine.
Hello, how are you?
61-48, a gift basket for it. And there's a charge against Arnold of Iowa.
You talk about playing at home. Watch this. There's a turnover. Watch the ball come right back. The ball comes right back to him.
You couldn't have passed it. The Iowa man couldn't have passed it any better.
Only at your own country club.
Player possession foul against Arnold, and Indiana will get it in the backcourt. Bobby Knight's Hoosiers leading 61-48. And as you said so well before, around the Big Ten, every coach has that Knight complex. He knows Bobby Knight's going to be tough. Indiana's going to be tough going to the end of this month, and he's showing it to Iowa today.
There's a new day dawning, America. Today, we're all working to brighten America's energy future. And Sun, an energy company for nearly a century, is helping by developing new sources of oil, natural gas, synthetic fuels, and coal right here at home.
America, Sun is helping to make a new day.
Sun, a lot of energy under one name.
Every time the Connecticut State Police pulls someone over, a Honeywell computer goes to work. A Honeywell computer displays police reports on the car and warns if the driver is considered dangerous.
Affirmative. That's our man.
Roger. License and registration, please. Will you follow me, please, Mr. Johnson? Your wife just had a baby girl.
Honeywell, you should see what we do with computers.
The thrill of that final decisive second when a golf ball sinks from view, combined with the idyllic setting of breathtaking and beautiful Hawaii. Don't miss exciting third-round action of the Hawaiian Open later today on NBC Sports.
Landon Turner, 6'10", would have been an All-American candidate this year. When he was injured, he didn't use his arms either, but through hard work, he now has the facility and the use of his arms. He's paralyzed from the waist down. He certainly isn't from the neck up. He's just mentally and emotionally as positive a person as you'd ever want to find.
He came to one of the games without a tie, and Bobby Knight says, wear a tie.
Put a tie on. Made him shave. He was growing a mustache and beard. Indiana's ball. Bushy brings it in. 61-48, the Hoosiers lead. 7.5 minutes left. Indiana going for its 11th win in the last 12.
Too early in the game to get cute, Indiana. You got to still go for that basket. I told you it's too early to get cute.
Dockich turns it over. Bobby Knight did not like the ball. Carfino brings it in. Iowa desperate for a basket. 7 minutes left. Boyle, oh, beautiful backdoor, and Gannon misses the layup. And a foul is on Gannon in frustration. Iowa has missed a lot of easy chances. 4 fouls on Gannon.
He's got 2.
Checking on the foul situation. Kenny Arnold and Kevin Boyle, 2 Iowa starters. Between them, they have only 1 field goal and a total of 3 points. Bushi, his first point of the game. Indiana now by 14. 62-48 with 7:03 left.
Relatively flat game for both seniors. But Boyle has started every game since he's been at Iowa. Has brought them a lot of joy and a lot of wins, and I think that he'll bring them a lot more wins in the NCAA this year.
In the second half, Indiana shooting 61%, Iowa 30%. Carfino, he misses. Thomas loses it. Last touch by Iowa.
Iowa will keep pressure up court. They have to create turnovers.
6:51 left. Kitchell into Dockich. Boyle hawking defensively. Cleared to Thomas.
What you call backdoors now, Dick, when you start setting this high. You see no one around the basket to keep the back door open for a change-up.
6.5 minutes left.
See how high they are? They keep the back open for a change-up. When do you see the change-up come? They have to come out and guard them. They're down by 14. They have to come out.
Interesting that in the first game at Iowa City, Iowa won by 22 and held Indiana to 40 points.
Well, you got a 36-point spread now between both games.
Amazing. Well, Indiana, Dockich turned down the shot. That'll tell you something. They're down to 6 minutes. Both teams in the bonus. Morgan with Boyle. Thomas and Hansen. Bushi and Payne. Kitchell has Gannon. Gannon with 4 fouls.
You got to hit once just to see if they missed the foul. Plenty of time left. Just hit once. Change the rhythm. They get too much confidence from Indiana and hands on the ball.
Thomas inside. He'll take the easy 2. 10 points for Thomas. These fans smell victory. Intercepted by Kitchell.
Hoosier hysteria.
Thomas again. Knocked away by Gannon. Payne almost knocked it in for Indiana. Carfino. Hansen. Not there. Boy, Hawkeyes are ice cold. Bushi fights his way free. 4:40 left. Indiana led by 4 at the half. They built a 16-point lead. It's been a superior half for Indiana. Perhaps the worst half of the season for Iowa.
Indiana murdered them on the boards. Absolutely a mismatch on the backboards.
Boyle fouls. His third. Some of the fans thought it was a little too rough, and so did the officials. They call it a 2-shot foul.
Watch Boyle come out on a man. He gets out real strong, goes for the ball, but they thought it was too intentional. Yeah, it was an intentional foul. Good ball by Mr. Baines.
Jim Thomas at the line, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, averaging 8 points a game, looking for his 11th today. And he's the leading rebounder for the Hoosiers this year and in this game.
He plays well. Indiana's good. It could be the best athlete on their whole team.
65-48. Hoosiers trying to return a punishing defeat after they were really walloped at Iowa City last week. In the game for the first time, Todd Birkenkoss. He was the Iowa Player of the Year. This is Birkenkoss. Rejected by Bush. Indiana in control, 65-48.
Precision, execution, it's all Bobby Knight.
A loss for Indiana in this one, and there was concern here in Bloomington that the Indiana Hoosiers wouldn't make it into the tournament even as a second or third place team. But a victory today, and the lights are bright, and the thoughts are as well.
And the teams that play Indiana will constantly be thinking of nighttime, the time that Bobby seems to wake up at the end of the season. Bobby likes this club. He's working with young people. He'd rather teach young people than have older players and try to make them play hard. So with a young club like this, he puts a lot of time with them, and he just enjoys teaching. Not like you, Dick.
That's the most exciting occupation in life, certainly the most meaningful. 3 minutes left. Dockich missed it. And it's out of bounds to Iowa. One of the rarer easy chances missed by Indiana. And a timeout. With 2 minutes and 56 seconds left. Iowa needs more than just a hot hand. They're down to Indiana 65-48.
Tickle their noses with Duncan Hines muffins.
Tickle their noses with bran muffins.
Bran muffins from Duncan Hines, so you know they're moist.
Tickle their noses with bran muffins.
They taste just as great as they smell, because Duncan Hines makes them with naturally good wheat bran.
Tickle their noses with Duncan Hines muffins.
Bran and blueberry.
They taste just as great as they smell.
Great taste.
The high-speed roads of Germany where the BMW runs free. What's a Mazda 626 Sport Coupe doing here? Making a point about outstanding value in a road car. Because while the 626 offers the performance, luxury, and economy you expect in a refined road car, it offers it at a price you most certainly don't expect. The more you look at some of the finest road cars in the world, the more you like the 1982 Mazda 626.
The top dog of dunk, Dominique Wilkins leads Georgia against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Then on NBC Sports World, the world's premier indoor track meet, the Milrose Games, plus the greatest figure skaters ever, and final round coverage of the Hawaiian Open tomorrow.
Indiana has outscored Iowa 30-17 in the second half to build a 65-48 lead. Reminder, stay tuned for the Hawaiian Open. And now we've got a couple of outstanding national games next weekend. On Saturday, we'll have Missouri. They won again today at Georgetown. What a matchup in the middle.
Yeah, but you know what we're doing? We're playing in the small gym there. We only seat 4,000. We're not playing the Capitol Center, so that should be something. And the next day, we go down to LSU Wichita. LSU is leading or tied for the lead in the Southeastern Conference. Dale Brown's done a great job.
Another fine defensive play by Indiana. This is Dick Enberg and Al McGuire in Bloomington, Indiana, where the league-leading Iowa Hawkeyes are taking quite a lesson from Indiana in the second half. 65-48, the Hoosiers lead. Virginia winning by 2 against Clemson. Morgan Wilson scores, and he is fouled, and Indiana's lead is now 19.
Looks like Arnold steps in here. Watch, as he goes up in the skies for the layup. Yeah, he does step in. Good call by the ref.
At the line is freshman Morgan Wilson.
Here's another angle. Not such a good call.
20 points. Indiana leading Iowa. This is an Iowa team.
Bobby just got very upset. Someone threw toilet paper. See Bobby turn around, yell at the crowd. Someone just threw toilet paper on the court.
So it's 68-48 with 2:25 left here in Bloomington. Carfino brings it in for Iowa. Iowa getting a taste of the medicine they delivered to Indiana. Boy, that kid can shoot. Todd Birkenfoss from Mapleton, Iowa. He set an all-time Iowa high school scoring record, 2,500 points. Fouled by Arnold. And again, going back to, it's a good 7-man team, this Iowa club, but 2 of their stars, their 2 seniors, Kenny Arnold and Kevin Boyle, between them have only 3 points. Boyle none, and Arnold just 3.
Well, Arnold's more a one-on-one type of player, blacktop, playground type player. He just never got out of the box today. And Indiana plays that sound defense that he just never got going. And plus, he had some good shots that didn't drop.
She hits the free throw. Indiana has won in almost every element of the game, and free throw being one. Michael Payne clears it out to Arnold. Posse wanted the ball, and he hits 2 in a row. They say that he could be one of the finest outside shooters in years at Iowa. Foul is called as Winston Morgan was revving up for a big dunk.
Winston starts a motor, and he forgot to put the ball in the hole. Watch him. He starts motoring here, and he just wants to fly in there once, but he missed the dunk. He wasn't that bothered. He got fouled. It wasn't that bad of a foul. Look, he's upset with himself.
All right, the line is Morgan, a recent starter, and Bobby Knight's game plan, putting a freshman in late in the season as a starter. He's had by far his best day. 6 was his high before today. He's doubled that, looking for his 13th point.
Anytime a freshman breaks away and they can dunk, they will dunk.
Misses both at 69-52. Birkenpass tied up. This will be Iowa's possession. Georgia, North Carolina tomorrow. Marv Albert and Cal McGuire will be there to call the #2 Tar Heels against the Duncan Dogs of Georgia and Dominic Wilkins.
A better name, Dominic Wilkins.
Whistle and a foul on Thomas of Indiana. His third will send Kenny Arnold to the line. Arnold averaging 10 points a game, looking for his 4th today.
You know, the visiting team in basketball, Dick, has the end to pick what basket they want. That's the only choice they have. Now today with I wouldn't pick the same end that the band was on. I'd go away from the band. Now this band is orderly. Bobby Knight will not allow their band to move or to beat drums or anything when a person's taking a foul. If you see the band's right where Arnold's shooting the foul, the band's right up in there. You can see them all in the red uniform. Nobody moves. That's a credit to Bobby Knight. But as a coach, when I come into this arena, I would want to face that band the first half, not the second half. Most coaches want their team to play towards their bench the second half of the game. But that's the only choice you have. A lot of times I just take it in just to psych a team out.
Look at that Kitchell hustle for the ball. Thomas almost turned it over. Bushi blocks Arnold. Oh, it's getting rough. 1:18 left. Lute Olson off the bench. Figured that there had to be some contact there someplace. Indiana 69-54. It's been a convincing performance by the Hoosiers.
Indiana all the way.
What do you mean by that? Oh, today.
All the way today, yeah. Oh, no. I don't think they have the type of material to go too deep into the tournament. Because if you cut off Whitman, you cut off Kitchell, you pretty much got them in trouble on the offensive end. Defense, they're always strong. They pride themselves in their defense.
Carfino commits his 5th foul. He knew it and immediately goes out of the game. He leaves with 9 points. For those of you who just joined us, the Hawaiian Open Golf Tournament 3rd round. Tom Watson moving up to challenge the leaders. That'll follow the conclusion of our basketball game from Bloomington, Indiana, where Bobby Knight's Hoosiers have put on an impressive show. The freshman, Winston Morgan, gets a hand as he comes out. Number 25, Cam Cameron, who is second-string quarterback on the Indiana football team. He's going to come in now.
He's going in for the shooter, Dick. He has to sit in the sidelines till Dockage takes the foul shot.
Jimmy Thomas is out. Most valuable player in Honeywell is pleased to present a $1,000 scholarship to both Indiana and Iowa. Our MVP today, Ted Kitchell of Indiana. He was scoring from the very start, put Indiana in front. They never relinquished the lead. Every time Iowa would challenge, Indiana got the ball in Kitchell's hands, and whether he was from the foul line or from the floor, he was deadly through a timeout. Indiana by 15.
Food, clothes, just about everything seems to cost more today. One reason young families think they can't afford life insurance.
Allstate update, lower life insurance rates.
Now, Allstate's cut prices up to 20% on a lot of their life insurance. Like this $100,000 level term policy that now only costs a 28-year-old father about $19 a month. Before you buy, come in and compare. For life, home, or auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Sometimes a simple river crossing isn't so simple. And when you've got him back, it's your turn. Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
The 4 championship gonfalons. UCLA 110, Kentucky has won 5, Indiana with 4, 1940 and 1953 under Branch McCracken. Good to see his wife, Mary Jo McCracken, here today. 1976 and 1981, Bobby Knight. So McCracken and Knight are 2 of the 7 coaches in basketball history who can claim having won 2 national titles. Here comes Ted Kitchell out of the game, our most valuable player. 33. Got to read Steve then. 33 points for Kitchell. Arnold losing the ball. Out of bounds. Last touch by Iowa. I want to thank Steve Dance for our statistician. 36 seconds left. 69-54 Indiana. In case you're wondering about the other coaches, we'll try to give you that graphic display in a moment. The foul is on Stokes. Stops the clock with 35 seconds. There are 7 coaches, as we said, who have won 2 or more national championships. Branch McCracken and Bobby Knight being 2 of those. John Wooden, of course, won 10. Adolph Rupp with 4. Ed Jucker of Cincinnati, Henry Ibo, Oklahoma State, Bill Wolpert of San Francisco are the others.
Now Bucci's on the foul line. He will get 2 shots, even though it was a foul away from the basket, because the foul was intentional. So it's not a 1-on-1. He can miss his first shot and still get the second.
Steve Bucci makes it 70-54. We understand it's a tie for the 3rd round. Watson and Levy are battling for the lead. We'll have that action for you. The final buzzer from Indiana. Hansen inside to score, but the report from Bloomington, Indiana, the doctor has visited Bobby Knight's Hoosiers, and he's reported them healthy and sound, and for the rest of the Big Ten, perhaps even dangerous.
Well, he's ready to make his move now. I don't know if he can catch Iowa this year. The only way he can catch Iowa is for Iowa to stub their own toe. Iowa still has a 2-game lead on Indiana and Minnesota.
Defensively, we're going to have the executive producer of NBC's basketball is Don Holmeyer. Coordinating producer George Finkel. Today's game was produced by Ken Edmondson, directed by Harry Coyle. Our feature producer Ramon Plaza, technical director Bruce Berquist, our associate director Joe Michaels. All the rest of the men and women supporting us here in southern Indiana today.
Crossroads of the United States, Indiana.
And there is no question the love affair with the game of basketball not only continues, but it just seems to be more feverish every year. Everywhere you go, from the play yards to the high schools, right. The university, that's all they want to talk about. (71-56). Indiana with the lead, final seconds ticking off. Tony Brown, nope, no basket. Flowers got a running start before he put the ball on the floor. Boy, I tell you what, Bob Hansen, in trying to block the charge of Flowers, really took a collision. That's the kind of pop that you better have a football helmet and pads on if you want that collision. Anderson into the game. Rebound Hansen. Did he want that one? Climb Payne's back. Knocked in by Stokes.
I think more by Steve Bucci than Stokes that time.
The basket goes to Stokes. And timeout called by Lute Olson. But it's purely academic now. 71-58 the score with 7 seconds remaining. again tomorrow. North Carolina, Dean Smith's Tar Heels. Some feel it's the team to beat in the tournament. You'll be able to judge their late season talent against the University of Georgia. One of the fine All-American players, Dominique Wilkins. Then next Saturday and Sunday, a doubleheader on Saturday, regional games, plus Georgetown with Big Pat Ewing, Missouri, and Steve Stepanovich. I'm anxious to see that confrontation.
Wayne Levy, a hot player today. He's taken 5 shots off par in this third round, has moved to 9 under. Tom Watson in close pursuit, and Scott Simpson's right in there also. We'll have live coverage, but right now, back to basketball.
Final seconds, the long pass, and a foul pushing off on Flowers.
I thought we were out of here, Dick, but Flowers just committed that foul. He's very aggressive. I said at the top of the show, a lot of people didn't join us till later, is that Flowers yesterday was playing. He took a bad shot at practice, and Bobby Knight went berserk, went into his El McGantry routine, and yelling and salty language at Flowers. And all of a sudden, the next time they started practicing, Flowers controlled both glass, floor, and everything else. So someday, Flowers is going to be an outstanding player.
Bob Hansen misses, and a foul with 1 second remaining. And since there's 1 second left, I want to confirm the fact, Coach, that you were right last week. We checked with all the technical people, the official score, and they said when you see a number on the scoreboard, there's actually less than that amount of time. So in your language, we are down to less than a second.
We owed me one.
That's right. I should never question you. I just thought I'd get your heart pumping a little bit. I wasn't sure that you were sure you were right anyway.
No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I think about 25% of the time I'm wrong in things I say on TV. But then it takes too long to be right.
Explain your mistake. You're right. Boucher tacks on a little frosting. Indiana, 72-58. 73-58. As soon as it's touched, the buzzer will ring. Payne with a long desperation shot, and Indiana is back in the Big Ten race, beating Iowa 73-58 for Al McGuire. Dick Enberg, so long from Bloomington, Indiana.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. We serve more of this land's top 100 business centers than any other airline. Fly the friendly skies.
And here's to the king of late night, The Tonight Show. The #1 late night show on television is better than ever, weeknights.